Chairman, I want to start with two thank yous you may not get from this side of the aisle. One is I think I'm the only former EPA employee on the committee. I worked in the TSCA program, and though they need people, I'm done with that particular phase of my career.
We could use you. I think there's some forms.
Use more help.
Also, so on their behalf, I want to say I'm a little concerned about the cuts in general. I think that these people work very hard. They do important work, and we need to support them. I also want to thank you for the loan that San Diego received, a $614 million loan for our water recycling project known as Pure Water. And connected with that, though, as you pointed out, that's a very important program. Unfortunately, you're requesting $300 million less than the enacted level in 2019. I'll just, without don't have time to go into that, but I'll just flag, I think that's the wrong way to go for such an important program that provides so much leverage to communities for environmental protection. But I did want to talk about the U.S.-Mexico Border Water Infrastructure Program, or BWIP. As you know, the city of San Diego has for decades struggled to end the continuous discharge of sewage along the border into the city from Tijuana. Millions of gallons of sewage still routinely close beaches. In FY2020, you propose eliminating resources and staff for the U.S.-Mexico Border Water Infrastructure Program. The program's, quote, supports the planning, design, and construction of water and wastewater treatment facilities along the border with all projects benefiting communities on the U.S. side of the border. The EPA has identified nearly $125 million in drinking water and wastewater infrastructure projects along the border in need of funding to protect public health and environmental impact in the United States. And yet the budget would eliminate the U.S.-Mexico border program as part of the effort to focus resources on core environmental work. Now, since the program began in 1997, it's provided hundreds of thousands of U.S. households along the border adequate drinking water and wastewater infrastructure. Initially funded with $100 million per year, however, it's been reduced over the last 20 years to less than $10 million. Why would you say BWIP is no longer considered as part of the effort to focus resources on core environmental work?
Well, first of all, Congressman, thank you for the comment on San Diego on the WIFIA loan that we provided them. I think that's a good example on how we can continue to support border projects. The budget does eliminate most regional voluntary programs, but we can still address those same problems and concerns through existing programs at the agencies, such as the SRF. I'm told that with the border states, Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Texas, there's $400 million available through water infrastructure that can go towards the border through the SRF. With the WIFIA, we can continue to look at new innovative ways of funding border initiatives with the WIFIA loan program. We did ask for $25 million more than what we requested last year for WIFIA. And then we also have the new EPA, which Congress just passed last year, where we're asking for $83 million, which we believe will really help smaller communities address water problems. So we're trying to spread our money among different programs to address water concerns.
Right, and obviously the concern we have is that the BWIP program is focused on the border. So the FRS projects the money's only going to projects in the United States. To be eligible for the BWIP funding, projects must be located within 100 kilometers or 62 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border. So are you going to do something specifically to make sure that border projects have dedicated funding from the SRF?
Again, we will spend the money appropriated by Congress if Congress does give us money for the program, but we're also working with the Department of State and other federal agencies to determine what else we can do on the border. And my regional administrator, Mike Stoker in California, has been down at the border numerous times and talking to our Mexican counterparts. I'll be down in Mexico for the CGC, I believe. It's the Canadian, U.S., Mexican Environmental Ministers meeting in June, and this is actually the end of May. Okay. This is a high priority for me when I
just expressed the concern. I appreciate that too, and I appreciate the administrator from Region 9 has been active and present. But as you know, this is a unique among federal funding programs because it's the only federal program that can fund projects on both sides of the border, with all projects benefiting communities on the United States side of the border. So I expressed that concern, I raised that objection, and hope to be able to provide you and your administrator with specific tools for the U.S.-Mexico border by preserving the BWIP. And I yield back.
Thank you.